So this video is all about the 7 levels of energy. So the 7 levels of energy is one of the, or probably the foundational concept of IPEC. And it's based on the energetic self-perception chart. And you will see that there's a download with that model of the energetic self-perception chart. So if you have that handy, if you have that printed out, or you have it somewhere on screen next to the video, you can follow along. So there's 2 types of energies in general. There is the catabolic energy, which is low frequency energy that breaks things down. Catabolic means breaking things down. And on the other side is anabolic energy, and that is a high frequency energy and builds things up. Generally, we say that catabolic energy feels bad and anabolic energy feels good. Neither energy, and these are feelings also, like energy, when I'm talking about emotions and feelings that you feel and pick up energetically in your body. Neither of those energies are inherently bad or good, because they all serve a very specific purpose. And a person who is able to access level 7 energy, that person so this isn't part of the self-transcendent chart. I'm going to go into that in a minute. When you're able to access level 7 energy, what that allows you is to use at will, consciously, any of the lower lying levels of energy in order to bring about the change or movement in life. So there are 3 things, if you can see. The center ring is the ego ring, that's the middle one. Then the ring around the ego ring is the self-mastery ring, and then the one surrounding that is the ring of self-transcendence. There is no ego involved in here. From the center out, there are those 7 levels of energy, from low frequency to high frequency. What this model allows us to comprehend is that each of us, every human, has the ability to see the circumstances we're finding ourselves in with 7 different vantage points. And each of us has some default reactions or default lenses through which we see things, which depend on how we were brought up, what our belief system is, what our thought patterns are. So let's go through the individual levels. Level 1 is a low energy and highly catabolic level of energy. We see ourselves as the victims when we see our circumstances. When we approach and see our own circumstances from a level 1, it feels like the world is crushing down on us, that we have no ability to create in our life, that we are at the effect of life. And we often feel quite sorry for ourselves if we are there, which leads to apathy and lethargic behavior. On the flip side is that if you are on level 1, that you can easily attract attention by that and receive energy if people feel sorry for you and if they're like trying to help you. The good thing about this is if you are at that level of energy and you don't have much energy to do any action, it means that you are forced to just recuperate and gather and gain your strength again. The core thought at level 1 is, I always lose. In my example, when my daughter was sick, and that totally upended my life and made me operate a lot from a victim lens, because I felt that there's nothing that I could do, that I was the victim of what was happening in her life, and that the only thing that I could do was react to whatever was throwing at us. The condition and the anxiety that resulted from it really took over. It felt like it took over my life. I couldn't plan anything. I didn't feel that I had freedom to do what I wanted to do or what I wanted to get done. And there was always the question, why is this happening to me? So in level 2, you have much more energy already, but it's still catabolic, and also low frequency energy. When we operate from this level 2 energy, it's a level of conflict. And there's a lot of anger present. We're defiant against the circumstances we find ourselves in. We blame and we shame others, and we blame external circumstances or people who have gotten us into those circumstances for the pain that we're in. We can get a lot done, though, in a very short amount of time because of the sheer force. And yeah, it happens often through intimidation, coercion, manipulation. Operating a long time on that level of energy is not very sustainable, because, as we said, catabolic means that things break down. Interesting enough, most corporations, or many corporations, act from a level 2, an intimidation level of energy. The core thought here is, I have to win, and therefore you have to lose. So it's a pure win-lose equation. In my example, for example, I started to not only blame my daughter's condition, I also blamed her because I thought she should be able to pull herself together. Is she faking it? All of this was super inconvenient. Why can't we just fit in? Why can't we just live our lives? Why do we have to change things around? And so it wasn't very great, right? Not a good feeling. In level 3, we still have a pretty high level of catabolic energy present, but at this level, it's the first level that we have some anabolic energy coming in. It's also the first level of the self-mastery ring, in which we start to take responsibility of the circumstances we are in. We forgive, we cooperate. When we hear, oh, I'm making lemonade out of lemons, or it is what it is a typical level 3 declaration. You can't change what's happening. You just act and make the best out of the situation that you have. Still, you don't have many options available for you or possibilities to change your life, so you just make the best out of what you've got. The downside of this level is that you can get stuck there. And a lot of people are staying at that level for many, many years, sometimes a lifetime. So you just deal with it, you get on with it, you negotiate with yourself. It could be worse, like it's not that bad, there's nothing to complain. And with that mindset, you start just settling into your reality without ever feeling kind of whole or fulfilled, because it's okay, you know, other people have it much worse. The core thought is that we both win, but still, I'd like to win a little bit more. So in my example, when I quit my job and gave up these aspirations that I had, and I tried to settle into a state where I tried to be okay with whatever the status quo was, because I felt like I couldn't really complain because I really had everything. I had more than I could want for, and so I started to negotiate with myself that it's all okay and I can just be a stay-at-home mom, you know, like that'll be okay. It's a level in which we're quite highly hit centers. We're quite rational and analytical. So moving into level 4. Level 4 is the level, it's filled with compassion, with care and with service for others. It is moderately anabolic and it's very heart-centered. There's still some catabolic energy left there. Let me see. Sorry, I jumped here. There's a lot of still catabolic energy left, and because the compassion and the serving implies that others are not okay and that they need something from you, and that there's something wrong with them, and they require your help. And there's a saying that says, what weighs you down is often not yours to carry, is a kind of a typical saying that describes people operating from level 4. It's a very motherly or nurturing level as well. The core thought is, I win when you win. You have to win first, and when you win, then I win as well. So of course, my example is pretty obvious, right? When I left to take care of Leona and get her back on track, I felt very compassionate and good, and I got a lot of encouragement from other people that what I was doing is the right thing to do. And but what it led me to do is like digging down deep and researching everything about nutrition and doing all of this stuff to get a hold on this celiac condition. So it's very much doing involved. Cooked everything from scratch. Got the tutors, got her back on track in school, and everything to help her to get all of this gluten stuff out of her system. And what is happening then, if the result wasn't what I wanted or accepted it or expected it to be, I felt like a victim again, because whatever I did, all this doing and fixing, manipulating and hoping, didn't have the results. And so that was kind of a spiral. It made me feel like a victim, that I couldn't do anything good enough. And then I started to get angry and frustrated. And then I said, there's nothing to be frustrated at, like everything's fine. But I need to help her. So it's like the circle. Can you see, like, that already shows like how you can circle through those levels of energy, like in a very short period of time. So I hope that helps show how they are intertwined. So let's go to level 5. Level 5 is the level of acceptance. It's about peace and reconciliation. It is moderately to highly anabolic, but there's still some catabolic energy present. Not too much, but it's still there. You start to make peace with your circumstances because you're able to see the opportunity in the situation. And you've started to accept that you can't change what you can't. You've started to accept what you can't change. And you are able to reconcile the opposing viewpoints. Some of the best leaders operate from level 5. They see opportunities everywhere, like in any downturn, in any bump on the road, they're seeing an opportunity to make things even better. And that's why they're excited about the journey. They don't fear the journey. They don't push through to get to the arbitrary finish line that they've set for themselves, or the deadline. And in the process, they're getting a lot of buy-in and encouragement and excitement from their team and their clients. The core thought here is really that it has to be a win-win, that everybody has to win. In my own example, when I kind of started to understand that there is an opportunity in the situation, that I had to slow down, that allowed me for the first time in my life to analyze and think about my life, think about how did I approach things, and what served and what didn't serve. And I wouldn't have had this opportunity if I had just gone down the road at like 100 miles an hour. Yeah. So the flip side of level 5 though is that it's very head-centered still. And so what can happen is you have analysis paralysis, because you have so many options available to you and you're not quite sure how to figure out which one is the right one. And so in order to get from the head to find what the solution and what's really in it for you, and what is your purpose, what's your values, what is it that you're here to do, that's an area where you're sinking down into your heart center, and that is level 6. So level 6 is exactly that. So it's heart centered. It's also the first level of self-transcendence, this outer ring. At this level, it's full of wisdom, joy, and synthesis. you realize that everything in your life served you in the best way possible. Even the bad things, especially the bad things, because the bad things, right? Especially those, because you've learned more and you've grown most from those. You understand that it all happened for your own growth and development. You understand that the biggest possibilities for you are found in the experiences that were most painful. And that's called, of course, wisdom. You understand when you are in the discomfort, if you embrace it and stay curious and open, the pain dissipates much quicker. And once you're through it, that's where the wisdom is. The core thought here is we always win. Everybody always wins. So now that I understand what Leona has been going through has not only served me, but is still serving her, and the biggest strength, and I really, really believe that this biggest strength lies in the pain that we go through. And I know that she'll be okay. I really know she's okay. I'm no longer worried. And there's nothing that I can do to fix her. I can help and support her. And what really made a difference, and it sounds weird, is separating her, my child, from the pain. And for all of the lower levels, I was taking really good care of her pain. The pain got all the attention. And it was always about her pain. But when in my mind I was able to separate the two, here's my child and here's the pain. I'm starving off the pain, I'm concentrating on my child. And that might sound a little crazy here, but that has helped a lot. It started to really shift. So now the last level 7, it's the one that I found and experienced in meditation. And it's also something we experience when we are in flow. When we do something and when we're so immersed in something that we're doing that we forget time. When we are so happy and joyful. That's when we are in level 7. Time flies by. You're in your element. The results are amazing. You are in the realm of creation. It's absolute passion. It's unconditional love. And most importantly, you hold no judgment. The less judgmental you are, the higher you are on the 7 levels of energy. The core thought here is there is no winning or losing. Winning or losing are concepts that we humans have created to play the game of life. And I'll see you Friday in the next call.